Welcome to exercise 20, dated 24/02/08. We're going to go ahead and build this part. Some interesting points here that they have these two side pieces here that are have a 19-degree angle, but you have to basically set your starting point off 4 inches high, 11 from here, and then build your angle, and then you get cut here at the end. So that's probably the only thing that's really difficult on this. Otherwise, it's fairly easy to build this model inside of here. So let's go ahead and start with this model. So let me move this to my other screen for reference. And we'll start out in millimeters unit file. We're going to drop a block out to start off with. And we know some overall dimensions here are 155 for the overall, and the width of this thing, which I could drag this to be 58. And the thickness of this is actually 6 inside of here. So we know our basic shapes for that again. So it's again 58 for our width, 155, and 6. So that's our basic starting point for this. Next, we can drop an extrude on here for this piece. And one thing I like to do is I want to pull this down to the bottom because we have a reference dimension from there. So we'll just save us some steps when we do this. We'll just align it here, snap a line to our sides, and now we can set this exact height, which is 50, instead of doing added distance from point. We can just do it that way. And we know the depth of this thing is actually 20, so we'll set that as well. So we've got that started inside of here. Now we can go ahead and put our through cylinder if we like. Here we'll drop through cylinder is on the center point of this object, so we'll just go ahead and put the center here, and that diameter is a 26 on that to get us started. Next, I'm going to go ahead and use a rib feature so I can find that in my shapes tool catalog. If I scroll down here, there is a rib feature that I can drag and drop out to start off with, and it's facing the wrong direction. So I'm just going to flip this thing around 180 degrees inside of here. So we can go ahead and position this around if we like. So what we're going to do is set the width of this. So we know the width of this is actually 4 millimeters, and I'm just going to initially just snap this out to here and towards our end here. So we know the offset of this from the end on this point is 11. So I can just double click on this and minus 11 from that value to offset my sketch. And next, I'm going to go ahead and just move this guy over to the end. So I'm just going to position it onto this edge and just snap it over here into this location. Now we want to go ahead and edit this cross section because we do need to do some changes to this. So what I'm going to do, so we know that this point needs to be locked here, but this is going to have to go up because we have a height value of 4 as well. So what we're going to do is just going to disconnect this for now, and I can select this curve and I can just move it up here a little ways. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and draw my 2-point line, which I know this one needs to be, I'm going to draw a line, right click and say it needs to be 4 high. So now I can connect that point there, and then I can lock that position. And we know this needs to be locked vertical, and we'll just go ahead and lock this position for now inside of here. So it doesn't really matter, but what we're going to do is going to draw an angle for this guy. So we know the angle for this has got to be 19 inside of here. So that's our 19-degree angle from there to there, and over a height there, and we've got our 4-inch here. So we'll go ahead and hit finish inside of there to get our basic shape that we need for this. Now there's got to be a cutout here on the end, so what we're going to do is just going to use an edge cut. I'm going to drop it onto this face, and again I can just flip this to the other direction, flip the extrusion direction. I know the width of this thing is 8 inside of here, and we know the height down is 6 millimeters as well, so I can just snap this, set this value 6 inside of there. So we can do that and just pull that out through to cut that piece off. So that gives us our basic shape here for this. And now we can actually mirror it to the other side and then add our fillet, our face fillet. So what we're going to do is do a mirror feature inside of here, pick our part. We're going to do the midpoint of this object. I'm going to go ahead and select this this object here and our cutout inside of there. So that's going to mirror it to the other side. So now that we've got that, we can go into our blend edges command, and we're going to do full round inside of here. So we're going to do our top face, select our second face here, tab, and get our top face there for that particular one, and we'll do the same for the other one. Again, so it's going to go to our full blend here. So we'll do our outside face, our second face, tab to get our center face, and hit OK. So that gives us our shape there for those. Next, we need to go ahead and drop a counterbore on this. So our initial diameter was 26. This one we're going to drop on our center point. So I'll hold the shift key down and select that. And the diameter for that is actually 32. And then we're going to top until we get a back handle there. And we're going to get a depth of 10 for that. So that gives us that shape there. So now we have those built. Last, we need to add an 8 millimeter blend here on the end. So we can go and blend. And that's going to be 8 millimeter on those. Hit OK. So that gives us that basic shape. So last but not least is our slot shape here in the middle. And again, I'm going to use our cut slot for this. I'm going to drag and drop this out, and it's already in the right orientation. So we know that the overall for this larger one, if we pull this, is going to be 57 plus the radius of this shape. So this has got an overall 20. So the radius is 10 on each of those. We're just going to add 20 to that inside of there. So that gives us our shape. Now we need to go ahead and position this guy. And to position this, we need to know where it's at from this. So we know from the center of this part, it's 28 from here. So we can just move our tri-ball to the center point of this arc. And now we can just do an edit distance from point here. Here we go. Oops. I didn't. Sorry. I want to do edit distance from point. Pick this one. And now it's going to give us a value where it's 28 from there. So that gives us that. And this has got a depth of 4 for this one and a width. Again, the width of this one is 20 for that. Last, we'll go ahead and add our inside cut. Inside here, that's going to cut through. And this one has got a diameter or width of this is 8. Inside of, oops, that 8 for that. And the overall side is 57 from each end. So it's 57 from each end, and we got the diameter of radius of 10 on this guy. So we're going to have, sorry, this one's got a radius of 8. So we're going to add 16 to that. Oops, not 16. Sorry. I'll go back to that. Wait, what we see, that was 57. Oop, 57 plus 8. Sorry, there we go for that. So that gives us our inside value there. So that's our shape inside of here. So now if you select on your part, we go to our part properties inside of here. And we have a material for this guy. It's going to be 20 inside of there. And now if you look at your properties for your mass, should be about 111 for that. So that's essentially your model there. Very easy to build this inside of IronCAD. Again, we didn't have to use any sketches, just had to modify one. And that's all we had to do for IronCAD.